trading up for Marvin Harrison Jr. from 10 to 5 to go get the first non-QB off the board.
Now, this was presumably before they signed Mike Williams, correct?
Before they signed Mike Williams. And you know me, Sam. I say get to 4 elite playmakers.
Yeah.
It
feels...
I don't think the Mike Williams signing precludes a move like this. But I will say the Jets signing Mike Williams is a story, an important story. Yeah. And a good job by the Jets, adding a Mike Williams, shoring up the offensive line as we talked about the other day. So they're not coming in with these massive needs.
The sandwich came up trumps. Do you see that?
They got him a ham, egg, and cheese.
Well, they didn't. Some like crazy Jets Twitter fan it
was from that
delivered DoorDashed him in a breakfast sandwich.
That's what it was.
Had to pass security and stuff. And they were tweeting at the Jets, "Hey, let me know when you get this."
I will say,
Jets Twitter was like, "It arrived. It's here," and then they gave it to him.
The New York, New Jersey bagel situation is legit.
The bagel, they have good bagels?
Unbelievable bagels.
Okay.
Yeah. It's something, the water, whatever it is. It's the water. There's something in the water. The bagels in New York, New Jersey are different. They're different, right? I have family members who, my brother-in-law's a pilot. And when he flies through New York, he used to live in Brooklyn or whatever. When he flies through New York, he stops, stocks up on bagels and brings them home because he lives in Salt Lake or whatever now. And he brings them home and freezes them. So he's got bagels for the future. They're that good. And that's what kept Mike Williams in the building for the Jets.
Sandwich. Yeah, I mean, it worked. It feels a little bit like the Chicago Bears move where you're right. Neither one of them, Mike Williams to the Jets or Keenan Allen to the Bears, it doesn't stop you drafting Rome Odunze, Malik Neighbors, Marvin Harrison Jr., whichever wide receiver is there. Now, it's slightly different because Chicago, I think, is sitting there if one of them lands at 9, it doesn't stop us taking one, particularly because, Allen's probably not a long-term solution, et cetera, et cetera. It probably makes it very unlikely, I think, that the Jets would trade up, get aggressive, and start going after a guy like Marvin Harrison Jr. It doesn't preclude it, doesn't mean it can't happen, but I think it certainly makes it less likely.
I don't. Yeah, it probably makes it less likely. I mean, that they would trade up, but they are in aggressive mode.
Sure.
In trading up for Marvin Harrison Jr. versus, say, waiting on a Malik Neighbors or Rome Odunze to fall.
Right.
I don't think either of those moves is clear. Having Marvin Harrison Jr. versus some of the other receivers means they're going to win this year. I don't think it's that big of a deal, but I think the Jets are in aggressive mode, right? They traded for Morgan Moses. They signed Tyron Smith. They bring in Mike Williams. By the way, Mike Williams and Tyron Smith, I mean, they need to invest in a couple extra hot tubs, maybe. Keep those guys fresh, keep them healthy. But they're, Aaron Rodgers coming off of injury. Are
they changing the turf this year? It's happening at some point. Is it happening?
I don't know. It's for future World Cup game?
Well, Real Madrid and somebody are playing at MetLife this summer, I think. So they're going to have to change the turf for that. They can't possibly be putting it back only to change it later.
Any turf experts here know if...
I just need a turf timeline.
Turf timeline.
Yeah.
Anyone do the research here?
They have to be changing it for the summer because no big soccer team will play on that kind of crap. They insist that they change it. So it would seem madness to me that they would change it back after changing it to grass, only to change it to grass again later on in the future.
Yeah. Anyway, you can make multiple receivers work. And,
sure.
And honestly, a Marvin Harrison, I would love this. I would love a nice aggressive move. I don't like trading up for players, especially when there's a thought that Marvin Harrison Jr. and Malik Neighbors and Rome Odunze are, similar in skill.
My only question with this would be, they're sitting there at 10 as things stand, right? So if quarterbacks go 1, 2, 3, 4, there's 3 top-tier wide receivers on the board and only 6 remaining picks, or 5 remaining picks before one of them gets to you. My question would be, are we good enough at identifying the best one of these 3 to make it worth trading up to 4 to make it happen, or 5 to make it happen, rather than just sitting there at 10, being fairly confident that one of the 3 will be available when we pick and doing what I was saying the Bears could do and just taking them as a good value option? I would say we're probably not.